Welcome to today's deep dive into the world of Carl Jung and his revolutionary concept of the shadow. In this presentation, we will explore how your shadow side, those parts of yourself you often hide or reject, can serve as a powerful guide toward discovering your true life purpose. Jungian philosophy teaches us that by confronting and integrating the darker, unconscious aspects of our personality, we unlock the path to individuation, creativity, and ultimately, a more authentic and fulfilling life. Have you ever felt that something essential is missing in your life? A subtle yet persistent sense that you aren't living your true potential? According to Carl Jung, the answer might lie in acknowledging the shadow, the collection of traits, impulses, and desires we disown because they don't fit the persona we present to the world. But what if we could transform that rejected part into a source of strength and insight? Today, we will journey through Jung's ideas and practical shadow work techniques that reveal how our inner darkness can illuminate our purpose in life. Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, believed that the key to living a fulfilled life is not in suppressing or denying our darker impulses, but in confronting them head-on. He argued that our shadow, which is largely unconscious, holds not only the repressed and undesirable qualities we fear, but also untapped potential, creativity, and wisdom waiting to be integrated into our conscious self. Before we delve deeper into the shadow, let's briefly consider the man behind the ideas. Carl Gustav Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who founded analytical psychology. His work diverged from his early collaborator Sigmund Freud, when Jung proposed that the unconscious is not solely a repository for repressed sexual impulses, but also a source of universal symbols, myths, and archetypes that shape our psyche. Jung introduced groundbreaking concepts such as the collective unconscious and archetypes, universal images and themes that appear across cultures, and the process of individuation, the journey toward integrating all aspects of our personality into a harmonious whole. For Jung, achieving wholeness meant reconciling the conscious and unconscious parts of ourselves. So, what exactly is the shadow? Jung described the shadow as that part of our unconscious mind that consists of all the traits, impulses, and desires we refuse to acknowledge in ourselves. It is the dark side of the personality, a repository for our repressed anger, envy, fears, and even hidden creative potential. Often, we see these qualities projected onto others as we criticize or resent traits in people that we deny in ourselves. Imagine that your public face, your persona, is like a mask you wear to conform to societal norms. Behind that mask lies your true self, including the parts you find unacceptable. Jung believed that the more we deny or suppress these parts, the stronger and more disruptive they become. However, if we make the unconscious conscious through deliberate shadow work, we can integrate these hidden parts and transform them into valuable assets. This process of integration is not about fixing yourself in the conventional sense. It's about understanding and accepting the full spectrum of who you are. You might wonder, how can a dark, hidden side of your personality reveal your purpose? The answer lies in the process of individuation. Individuation is Jung's term for the journey toward becoming whole. It involves recognizing and reconciling the disparate parts of your personality, both light and dark, to achieve self-realization. When we engage with our shadow, we confront the parts of ourselves that have been denied or suppressed. This confrontation, though often painful, forces us to examine our deepest fears, unresolved conflicts, and the qualities we might otherwise ignore. In doing so, we uncover hidden talents, insights, and motivations that are essential to our true identity. In other words, your shadow contains clues to your authentic self and your unique purpose in life. For example, if you've always felt a spark of creativity but pushed it aside because it didn't fit the image you or society expected of you, that creative impulse might reside in your shadow. By acknowledging and nurturing this impulse, you may find that your true calling involves artistic expression or innovative problem-solving, areas where you can contribute uniquely to the world. The good news is that you don't need to be a trained analyst to begin exploring your shadow. Here are some practical methods you can use to start integrating your shadow into your conscious life. One of the most accessible tools for shadow work is journaling. Take a notebook and set aside a few minutes each day for free writing. Allow yourself to write without censoring your thoughts. Explore moments when you felt anger, jealousy, or fear, emotions you might usually push away. Reflect on what triggered these feelings and ask yourself what part of you they might represent. Over time, your journal becomes a mirror reflecting the hidden aspects of your psyche. You might start to notice recurring themes or insights that point to areas where your shadow holds untapped potential. Another powerful technique developed by Jung is active imagination. In this practice, you engage in a dialogue with your unconscious by visualizing and interacting with images or figures that arise from within. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and allow an image to emerge, perhaps a figure representing your shadow. Then converse with this figure. Ask it what it wants, why it has been hidden, and what gifts it might offer you. This dialogue can provide you with profound insights and help demystify the aspects of yourself that you have long ignored. Practicing mindfulness and meditation allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. When you notice feelings of discomfort or self-criticism arising, pause and examine them. What underlying belief or impulse might be behind that reaction? Over time, this practice cultivates a non-judgmental awareness of your inner world, paving the way for integration. Art, music, writing, or any form of creative expression can also serve as an outlet for your shadow. These activities allow you to express feelings that may be difficult to articulate in words. Don't worry about creating something good or beautiful in the conventional sense. Focus instead on expressing what lies beneath the surface. You may find that your creative work reveals parts of yourself you never knew existed, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of your purpose. Integrating your shadow brings many benefits that extend far beyond self-acceptance. When you embrace your full self, including the parts you once rejected, you open yourself up to a range of positive changes. By acknowledging and incorporating your shadow, you become a more authentic version of yourself. No longer do you hide behind a facade. Instead, you live in alignment with your true nature. This authenticity not only enriches your relationships, but also enhances your overall sense of fulfillment. Moreover, the shadow often houses creative impulses and innovative ideas. When these aspects are integrated into your conscious life, you may find that you approach challenges with a fresh perspective and an inventive spirit. Many great artists, writers, and leaders have tapped into their shadow to produce work that resonates deeply with others. Facing your shadow can be challenging, but doing so builds emotional resilience. As you learn to navigate the darker aspects of your psyche, you become better equipped to handle stress, setbacks, and life's inevitable challenges. This inner strength can be the key to unlocking your purpose and pursuing your dreams with confidence. Furthermore, when you accept your own imperfections, you become more compassionate and understanding toward others. Integrating the shadow helps you recognize that everyone has a hidden side. This empathy can foster deeper, more meaningful relationships and create a supportive community where authenticity is valued. While the journey of shadow work is transformative, it isn't always easy. Many people encounter resistance when they begin to explore their shadow. You might feel uncomfortable, overwhelmed, or even afraid of what you might discover. The shadow represents the unknown parts of yourself, and it's natural to feel afraid of what you might find. Remember that the goal is not to eliminate the darkness, but to understand and integrate it. Approach this process with curiosity rather than judgment. Consider the shadow as a part of you that holds valuable information about your true self. As you dig into deep-seated emotions, you may experience intense feelings of sadness, anger, or shame. If these emotions become too overwhelming, consider seeking the support of a therapist or joining a supportive community focused on personal growth. Remember, shadow work is a gradual process. You don't have to confront everything at once. Many of our rejections come from societal norms and cultural expectations. We are taught to value certain traits and dismiss others. Question these beliefs and ask yourself whether the qualities you're rejecting truly belong to you or are simply imposed by external pressures. Overcoming this conditioning is key to reclaiming your authentic self. It's also easy to fall into the trap of harsh self-criticism when you encounter parts of yourself that you've long denied. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself as you would a dear friend who is struggling. Remember that the process of integrating your shadow is not about self-condemnation, but about healing and growth. Let's consider a hypothetical example to illustrate the transformative power of shadow work. Imagine Sarah, a successful professional who outwardly seems confident and composed, yet she often feels a nagging sense of emptiness and self-doubt. Her peers see her as driven and successful, but deep down, she struggles with feelings of inadequacy, feelings she has always pushed aside because they did not fit her image of a perfect professional. One day, Sarah begins a regular journaling practice, setting aside time each morning to write freely about her emotions and experiences. As she writes, she starts to notice recurring themes of fear and self-criticism. Curious about these patterns, she turns to active imagination, visualizing a dark, shadowy figure that seems to represent her inner doubts. Through these sessions, Sarah gradually realizes that her fear of failure and rejection, qualities she had always deemed unacceptable, are, in fact, driving her to overwork and constantly seek validation. Instead of fighting these impulses, Sarah learns to embrace them. She recognizes that this shadow contains the seeds of her creative power and resilience. With this newfound understanding, Sarah begins to set healthier boundaries at work, allowing herself to rest and reconnect with her passions outside of her career. Over time, Sarah notices a profound change. She feels more balanced, creative, and true to herself. By integrating her shadow, she has not only alleviated her inner conflict but also uncovered a deeper sense of purpose, a purpose that goes beyond external achievements and speaks to her authentic, multifaceted self. As we wrap up today's exploration, remember that the shadow is not your enemy. It is a vital part of who you are. By choosing to confront and integrate your shadow, you embark on a courageous journey towards self-discovery and wholeness. Your shadow holds the hidden keys to your creative potential, emotional resilience, and ultimately, your life's purpose. If you've ever felt that there's more to your life than the polished image you present to the world, consider this. The parts of you you fear or try to hide might be exactly what you need to embrace in order to unlock your true potential. Take that first step. Start a journal, try a meditation session, or simply observe your reactions without judgment. Allow your inner darkness to speak, and listen closely to the insights it offers. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Today, choose to confront your shadow. Allow it to guide you toward the discovery of your authentic self and your unique purpose in life. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. A life lived in full awareness, creativity, and fulfillment. Thank you for joining this exploration of Jungian shadow work. Embrace your darkness, discover your light, and step boldly into the life you were meant to live.